As we come into this time of shared meditation, I invite you to enter the stillness in whatever way is comfortable for you. If your eyes can be closed, if that feels safe and comfortable, you can just let your gaze soften, maybe looking just ahead of you a little bit. As we enter these moments of quiet, quiet held by the sound and silence of the notes of the piano. We invite body, mind, heart, and spirit to awaken, to be present here and now. Trusting that there is no place else we need to be but here in this moment. Here in this life, just as it is. And held by those gentle notes of music, I invite you inward. Notice what arises in these next few moments. With no other human voice to hear, but the voice of your own heart. With open ears and open heart, what we hear in the silence, we're called to bring forth with our open eyes and our open hands. Letting that whisper of the holy mystery alive in us and as us Call us ever more fully awake into that garden. And so it is. Thanks, Pete. We're having door issues. I think just leave it open a crack. I'm going to start today with a little bit of a story, and it's from something I read a couple of weeks ago that really inspired me with both the title of this talk, which is not there. It may be. Is Mercury in retrograde? Planting seeds of hope. It might just be the projector. The projector's being wonky. So as we plant seeds of hope, deal with the door, deal with the projector, it is the reminder that we show up in the fullness of everything that's going on. Yes? So a couple of weeks ago, I have a link in the PDF. Oh, there we go. Lamont, thank you. He's trying to help with the door and the projector and all the things. I don't know what we would do without you. So I've referenced Reverend Cameron Trimble a lot over the last few months. I find her daily during the week posts so grounding. I feel like I really just want to find out how to call her up and say, can we have coffee together? But a couple of weeks ago, the title of her post was Planting Trees in Challenging Times. And she begins with a story, and so I begin today with this story. A rabbi once told a story that people have carried through centuries of upheaval. Someone asked him a frightening question. What should a person do if they knew the world would end tomorrow? It was not a philosophical question. It was the kind of question people ask when history begins to feel unstable, when wars spread, when leaders make decisions that place millions of lives at risk, when the future no longer feels dependable. The rabbi did not dismiss the fear. He did not say the person was exaggerating or should only think positive thoughts. He did not rush to reassure them that everything would be fine. He simply answered, then today, you should plant a tree. At first, the answer sounds strange. If the world ends tomorrow, why plant anything at all? But the rabbi understood something about the human soul. When people begin to believe the future is lost, they stop tending life. They stop caring for the earth. They stop caring for one another. Fear slowly shrinks the boundaries of their humanity. I bet you can see why that has stayed with me over the last couple of weeks. So my question to begin is, how are the boundaries of your humanity this morning? How are they feeling? Are they feeling spacious, busting into your divinity, or are they feeling frightened? I am also not here to give false reassurance. There is much alive in the world that is more than troubling. It is discouraging, it is daunting. The mud of the world is very visible. And yet, we are planting seeds. So I am also here not to keep us in the reality of the mud and the terror and the reality of power run amok again and again and again, just as it was in times of old. Carried through centuries of upheaval is that story. So I am also aware of a story that feels a little more tender to share. Last week, those of you who were here know that my daughter Beth was with us in person. Her birthday is Friday. She's the first day of spring baby. And for her whole life, 43 years, I have been thanking her for being my best sign of the first day of spring. But she is also proof in my life that an unanticipated, unexpected upheaval in life can still open the way for grace, for growth, for beauty. When Beth was growing up, I thought we did a really good job of never letting her think that our unanticipated beginnings as a family were her fault. I thought we did a beautiful job with that, and yet somehow in her growing up, anytime her parents weren't quite happy, she thought, oh, if they hadn't had me, they might be happy now. We were planting seeds we were completely unaware of while we were nourishing and nurturing seeds that we thought were growing well. I am blessed to have a relationship with my adult kids that recognizes the soil that they were raised in, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So her presence here last week was a gift, and there has been decades worth of healing, growing growth in our story together as mother and daughter, and in our story as a family. And so she is indeed a sign of spring for me. Life happens in our own lives. How many of you have had unexpected upheaval in your world? Anybody else? Am I the only one? Yeah. How many of us have found unexpected grace and blessings, not maybe from the upheaval, but maybe simply because someone in our lives planted a seed of kindness when we were in pain. Somebody in our world planted a seed of compassion by listening to us and being present to us in that moment of upheaval. Spring is a season of mud before it's a season of blossoming. It all is a part of it. Here again is Reverend Trimble. In the Hebrew scriptures, the prophet Jeremiah spoke to a people despairing, people who believed their world had collapsed. Jerusalem had fallen, their leaders had failed them. They were living in exile under an empire they did not trust. And the prophet told them something surprising. Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you. Build houses. Plant gardens. Seek the welfare of the place where you live. Keep tending life. Keep tending life. We sang these words just a little while ago. Take the seed that you have and plant it here. Dream it here. Sing it here. What do we give it? Water, courage, strength, and love. We give it love. We give it love. Planting seeds of hope does not mean that we don't look at what is going on around us. It means that we see it, we recognize it, and still we plant the seeds of what we want to see more of. Here is a beautiful quote about hope. A different reverend, Benjamin Creamer. Hope is not a sentimental optimism that things will somehow work out. Hope is a subversive conviction that injustice and death will not have the final word, and then we act on that belief. That is the Easter story. We are anticipating that Easter story, that conviction that death does not have the final word. The frozen ground of winter does not have the final word. Our unexpected upheavals do not have the final word. So what seeds are you planting? What dream are you dreaming? What song are you singing? And what are we planting and dreaming and singing and growing and building together? Can we face and witness without turning away, clear-eyed, unflinchingly witnessing the places of mud and cold, hard ground that we see all around us, cold, hard hearts that we see all around us? In that witnessing, can we tend to the world so that we can also recognize the wide, open hearts of love, of compassion, of care, giving, and tending that are also all around us? Can we together tend a world that needs the kind of love we are growing here? Can we transform our own little circles of the world and trust that in this moment, here and now, the presence we share with each other is watering those gardens of love and compassion and kindness, despite how muddy March may feel? That sense of hope frees us. It's not an optimism that says, oh, I'm pretty sure things are just going to turn out okay. All signs are pointing to everything's going to be fine. But we cannot be people who have given up on life. Once we give up on tending life, we give up on all of it. That is not who we are. We are people who have said yes. I will tend life. I will tend love. I will tend kindness, respect, dignity, mercy, justice. And in all the ways that I can, I will dream and sing and plant the world as I know it is designed by that holy gardener, our Creator. That's how we are designed to live in sacred relationship with each other and with all of earth. And so we come together to strengthen each other, to give witness, to bear witness, to plant seeds, to love the living daylights out of each other when it's fun and easy and when it just is not. We show up with our whole hearts, our whole minds, our holy imaginations, our whole embodied strength and vulnerability. And we say yes again and again and again to planting those seeds, to nurturing them, and to reveling in the blossoming and maybe even the mud. And so it is. Amen.